Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's speaking topic is noise, quiet places, and relaxation. First, you'll watch a mock interview, and after that, we'll go through each answer together and explore different ideas you can use in your own speaking test. Let's get into it.
Why do people need quiet places?
I think people need quiet places because life has become extremely busy and overwhelming nowadays. There's always some kind of noise around us, whether it's traffic, music, or notifications from our phones. After a while, it becomes mentally tiring. Personally, I feel much calmer when I spend time somewhere peaceful, especially after a long day. Quiet places also help people think clearly and organize their thoughts better. In my opinion, everyone needs a break from noise once in a while.
Do you think cities are becoming noisier nowadays?
Yes, absolutely. Modern cities are much noisier than they used to be because populations are growing rapidly and there are more vehicles on the roads. In addition, construction work seems to happen everywhere these days. Even public places like cafes or shopping centers are filled with loud music and crowds. Sometimes it feels impossible to escape the noise completely. I think people are slowly becoming used to it, but that doesn't mean it's healthy.
What are the effects of noise pollution on people?
Noise pollution can have a serious impact on people's health and daily lives. For instance, constant noise can increase stress levels and make people feel irritated more easily. It can also affect sleep quality, which leads to fatigue and poor concentration during the day. I notice that when my surroundings are noisy, I struggle to focus properly on my work. Over time, this can reduce productivity and even affect mental health. In extreme cases, it may cause anxiety or hearing problems as well.
Is it easy to find quiet places in your country?
I'd say it depends on the area. In large cities, it's actually quite difficult because there are always crowds, traffic, and busy streets. However, quieter places can still be found if people really look for them. Libraries, parks, and small cafes are usually more peaceful than other public spaces. Personally, I prefer places with fewer people and some natural surroundings. They help me relax much more effectively. In rural areas, though, finding silence is definitely easier.
Why do some people enjoy noisy environments?
I think some people enjoy noisy places because they find them exciting and energetic. Busy environments often create a lively atmosphere, which can make people feel more active or social. For example, many people love concerts, festivals, or crowded cafes because they enjoy being surrounded by others. Personally, I sometimes like that kind of environment too, especially when I'm spending time with friends. However, I couldn't handle it every day. After a certain point, too much noise becomes exhausting.
How can governments reduce noise pollution in cities?
Governments could take several measures to reduce noise pollution. One effective solution would be introducing stricter laws on construction and traffic noise, especially late at night. They could also improve public transportation systems to reduce the number of private cars on the roads. Creating more parks and green spaces would help as well because they naturally reduce noise levels. Another good idea would be raising public awareness about the harmful effects of noise pollution. I think many people simply underestimate how damaging constant noise can be. Small changes in public behavior could make a big difference.
Do you think technology has made life noisier?
Yes, I definitely think so. Technology has made communication faster and more convenient, but it has also filled our lives with constant sound and distraction. Phones, alarms, videos, and notifications are everywhere now. Even when people are alone, there's usually some kind of background noise coming from electronic devices. Personally, I sometimes feel distracted because my phone keeps interrupting me while I'm trying to focus. At the same time, technology can also help people relax through music or noise canceling headphones. So I think it has both positive and negative effects.
Why is silence important for concentration?
Silence is important because it allows people to focus without unnecessary distractions. When the environment is noisy, it's much harder to think clearly or stay productive for long periods. I've noticed that I work far more efficiently in quiet places like libraries. My mind feels less crowded, and I can pay attention to details more easily. Silence also helps reduce stress and mental fatigue. That's probably why many people prefer studying or working in calm environments.
Do young people and older people prefer different places to relax?
Yes, I think their preferences are often quite different. Young people usually prefer lively places where they can socialize and have fun with friends. That's why cafes, shopping centers, and entertainment venues are so popular among them. Older people, on the other hand, often enjoy peaceful and less crowded environments. For example, many of them prefer parks, gardens, or quiet neighborhoods. I think this difference mainly comes from lifestyle and personality. As people get older, they often start valuing comfort and peace more than excitement.
Are public parks important in big cities?
Yes, they're extremely important. Public parks give people a chance to escape from the stress and noise of urban life for a while. In crowded cities, many people don't have enough open space around them, so parks become valuable places for relaxation. Personally, I enjoy walking in parks because they help me clear my mind and feel refreshed. Parks also encourage exercise and social interaction, which are both good for mental health. Without green spaces, cities would probably feel much more depressing and overcrowded.
All right, that's the end of the interview. Now let's break these answers down question by question and look at the kinds of ideas you can talk about if you get similar questions in your test. Question 1. Why do people need quiet places? If you get this question, one easy idea is to talk about how modern life is constantly noisy and mentally exhausting. You can mention traffic, crowded places, social media notifications, or loud public spaces. Then move into the effects of that noise. For example, you could say people feel stressed, tired, or overwhelmed after being surrounded by noise all day. After that, explain why quiet places matter. Many people use silence to relax, clear their minds, or focus better. You can also connect the idea to your own life by mentioning places where you personally feel calm. Question 2. Do you think cities are becoming noisier nowadays? For this question, you can focus on the causes of noise in modern cities. Traffic is probably the easiest idea because almost every city struggles with it. Construction is another strong point since many cities are expanding rapidly. You could also mention shopping malls, restaurants, or cafes that constantly play loud music. If you want to develop your answer further, talk about how people are becoming so used to noise that they barely notice it anymore. That can make your answer feel more thoughtful and realistic. Question 3. What are the effects of noise pollution on people? There are many directions you can take with this question. One common idea is stress. Constant noise often makes people feel irritated or emotionally drained. Another strong point is sleep quality because loud environments can make it difficult to rest properly. You can also discuss concentration problems. Students and office workers, for example, may struggle to focus when there's too much background noise. If you want to add depth, mention long-term effects like anxiety or mental exhaustion. Question 4. Is it easy to find quiet places in your country? A good way to answer this question is by comparing different areas. You could say quiet places are difficult to find in crowded cities because of traffic and large populations. Then contrast that with smaller towns or countryside areas where the environment is calmer. To make your answer more specific, mention actual quiet places people visit, such as libraries, parks, temples, or small cafes. Personal preferences can also help extend the answer naturally. Question 5. Why do some people enjoy noisy environments? If you struggle with this question, think about situations where noise creates excitement instead of stress. Concerts, sporting events, and festivals are all good examples because people associate them with energy and fun. Some people also enjoy crowded cafes because they like being around others. You can explain that noise sometimes makes places feel more lively and social. Then, to make your answer more balanced, you can mention that too much noise eventually becomes exhausting. Question 6. How can governments reduce noise pollution in cities? For solution questions like this, try thinking about laws, infrastructure, and public behaviour. Governments could create stricter rules for construction work or traffic noise, especially during nighttime hours. Improving public transportation is another strong idea because fewer private cars would reduce traffic sounds. Parks and green spaces are useful to mention too, since they naturally create calmer environments. Finally, you can talk about educating the public. Many people simply don't realise how harmful noise pollution can be. Question 7. Do you think technology has made life noisier? This question becomes much easier if you think about daily life. Phones, alarms, videos, and social media notifications constantly interrupt people throughout the day. Even when someone is alone, there's often background noise from electronic devices. You can explain how this affects concentration or mental peace. At the same time, you can also mention positive aspects of technology, such as relaxing music, meditation apps, or noise-cancelling headphones. That gives your answer a more complete discussion. Question 8. Why is silence important for concentration? An easy way to answer this question is by connecting silence with productivity. When people work or study in noisy places, they lose focus more easily. Quiet environments help people think clearly and stay focused for longer periods. Libraries are a great example because many people associate them with concentration and efficiency. You can also mention mental fatigue. Constant noise can feel draining, while silence helps people feel calmer and more organised mentally. Question 9. Do young people and older people prefer different places to relax? For comparison questions, think about lifestyle differences between age groups. Younger people often enjoy social environments like cafes, shopping centres, or entertainment venues because they like spending time with friends. Older people may prefer quieter places such as parks or gardens because they value relaxation more. You can explain that preferences usually change with age and lifestyle. Younger people often seek excitement, while older adults may prioritise comfort and peace. Finally, are public parks important in big cities? Public parks are actually connected to many different ideas, so there's a lot you can say here. One major point is stress relief. Parks give people a break from the traffic, crowded streets, and noisy environments. They also provide fresh air and open space, which can improve mental well-being. Another good idea is exercise because parks encourage walking, jogging, or outdoor activities. Finally, you can mention how parks improve city life overall by making urban areas feel healthier and less overcrowded. So those are some strong ideas you can use for speaking questions about noise, quiet places, and relaxation. Try not to memorize full answers. Instead, focus on understanding the ideas and learning how to develop them naturally in conversation. If you'd like more practice like this, you can become a member for extra lessons. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.